Jump in the water with them and float. Hold their hand and float with them. That's the best place to start. What are some equity-seeking behaviours that are often misunderstood in those with PDA? Equity-seeking is a term that I use because I prefer that to balancing, levelling, equalising. I use it because I want to offer a different perspective. The behaviour that we see in a PDAer is more often than not misunderstood as an act of defiance or problematic behaviour that is intentional. It's often written about as strategies of avoidance. Again, strategies are mostly understood by people as strategizing, having a plan, being conscious about it, moving forward with an idea of how we're going to get out of this thing. And that's not always true for PDAers. Our conscious brain is separate to our neurobiological drive, and our neurobiological drive means that we have a nervous system that is responsive, rationally responsive to the level of sensitivity a PDAer has. It can become maladaptive. Yes, it can. PDAers prefer to be in equity with people, places, and things. And any kind of power imbalance, say conventional parenting, where the parent sits up here and the PDAer is here, results in inequity. So what happens then is the nervous system, the neurobiology of the PDAer, is out of their typical state of being or their needed state of equilibrium. What happens is if they experience this, whether it's perceived, imagined, real, does not matter. This is about the nervous system, the threat response, the way our brain perceives what's happening in our environment. If this happens, a PDA will try a range of ways to restore their power or their perceived loss of equity. Now, this could be saying, no, put your shoes on. No, I won't do that. Now, depending on how much this is happening will be the level of resistance that we receive from the PDA child. Other forms of this might be behaving in a certain way, and it could be something that we don't understand. So I remember telling a story about when I was at school and I would never put my hand up for help, but one day I knew that I couldn't move forward unless I asked for help. The putting my hand up for help and asking for the teacher created this. This is me down here. I didn't know this at the time. And receiving the help is what resulted in this. Then, because I had perceived this power imbalance, or my brain does, I'm not consciously going, oh, I'm out of control. I don't feel in control. I'm at a loss of power. It's not like that. It's this feeling of really heavy anxiety, fear, panic, dread. It's different for everyone. After the teacher walked away, I picked up a water bottle and I turfed it across the room. I had no idea why I did that. And of course, I got in trouble. I hated the fact that I'd done that. I grew up not understanding myself. I wished that I would behave differently. Very hard to communicate to people. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. Plenty of children will say it though when they're questioned, why did you do that? They will say, I don't know. And they're telling the truth. So what you can see here though is the throwing of the water bottle got a big enough reaction that this happened. Instead of me trying to get up there, my behaviour resulted in a big enough reaction that made this teacher vulnerable and brought her down here to meet me in equity. So any behaviour that a PDA engages with, whether it's acceptable or not, is usually of coming back into power in equity with their environment, people, places, and things. That's what equity seeking is when I talk about it. And it's not dissimilar to when people use terms like levelling, equalising.